Today on the Cardinal Sports Network, we bring you cross country as Lawrence will be running with Steinert and West Windsor-Plainsboro North at Mercer County Park. And I'm joined here in the studio by Coach Tim Collins from the girls team. Welcome, Coach.
Welcome. Good to be here.
It's good to have you with us. They're getting ready for the start of this event, and it looks like we've got both the boys and the girls lined up.
Yep, numbers are kind of low. It's more of a developmental meet, and so the coaches agreed instead of having separate races, they've combined the boys and the girls racing together.
Lovely weather for it, though.
Yeah, perfect weather for a race. Sunny and cool.
And there's the start. For those of you not familiar with Lawrence, there are the runners in red. Who have we got out front there for Lawrence?
So that's LJ Lionel Jean. So he's been our lead distance runner last year and this year, so he's really improved. He's a senior, and so he should be out with the top 5 leaders today.
It looks like we've got 4 or 5 of the girls from Lawrence running together. Is that to try and help bring along slower runners?
Yeah, so like I said, developmental meet, so a lot of these girls, it's either their first or second season running cross country, so they're actually following directions. They're going out towards the back together. And then the goal is to pass girls as we get further into the 3-mile race.
Oh, that's good for support. Now, the runners are going to disappear into the woods and circle around a big loop there, aren't they?
Yeah, this is Veterans Park in Hamilton, so they're going past the 9/11 memorials off to the right. I don't think you can see that. And
Mercer County Park.
Oh, did I say Veterans? Yeah, Mercer County Park and Hamilton. So they'll loop around. This is just the first quarter mile or so. They'll go back, do another 1.5 miles, and then come back towards us.
Yeah, we're going to jump ahead to that point where they're coming out of the woods. And right off the bat, we see 3 runners from Steinert.
Yep, Green Steinert, and looking good. And this is about the 2.25 mile mark right about here.
Yes, they're actually coming back. They're going to run right past the finish line and head the other direction for even more of the course. There you go, the top 3 from Steinert. Now we've got Steinert and West Windsor-Plainsboro North coming out of the woods. And more of both of those teams.
You can see the first girl from West Windsor North there.
Yeah, I believe that is the first lady runner we've seen, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
She must be really doing well.
I would imagine, yeah, if she's beating, because some of these runners, even though it's developmental meet, look like they're doing okay. So she must be one of their top girls over there at North.
And off in the distance there, we see the first Lawrence runner coming into view.
Yeah, that's Kevin from Lawrence High School. And what has happened, it appears, because I mentioned earlier that LJ should have been in the top 5. So it looks like there was some mix-up on course markings. And what has happened is there's been mix-ups of races. So this is the end race. This is what they should be doing. But in the middle there's a little bit of a mix-up. So you have some of the better athletes, runners, are actually behind now, catching up. So that happens occasionally when you're in a park with lots of woods and trails and turns, and so it's happened today, but it's all good.
Yes, I've been to a couple of these meets where they've actually had to send out people looking for stray runners.
Yeah, and especially, again, when you've got new runners who have not competed on this particular course. With COVID, we were not on these courses, 2 more. So you got Jared and Joe from Lawrence. And so a lot of these runners, this is their first time on the course. So, stretch 3 miles out. And here comes LJ. You can see how much better he looks than all those people that were ahead of him.
Yes, he looks very relaxed running.
Yeah, and, he's passing people at will. So he was one of the runners and some of the top West Windsor North runners just got turned around somewhere in the woods or in the grass, and so he's just coming by and just passing a whole bunch of people towards the end. And they've got about another. They go into the woods now, and they'll do another half loop. Here's Aiden Stern for Lawrence.
He's looking rather relaxed as well.
Yep, and you can sort of see how well he looks later in the race, and you can imagine the same thing happened with him, that took a wrong turn and still ran over 2.5 miles or so.
And we got some more of the girls coming into view.
Yep, this would be Brianna and Susanna.
Is this another case of one of them is slowing down to help the other?
They're working together a little bit. They've had some injury issues. Although they ran cross country last year, again, injury issues throughout the year. They weren't able to continue doing as much running in track. So they're still developing as well. So they are working together. And we'll sort of see if Brianna sometimes pulls ahead towards the end.
Now we're going to jump over towards the final run towards the finish line. And out front we've got two of the Steinert runners, and they're giving their all now, especially the guy running in second. He's really digging.
Good finish, 1, 2, 3 from Steinert.
Yes, and West Windsor-Plainsboro North right there in fourth, close behind. And we'll see some more of the Steinert runners coming into view. By this time, they're pretty well spread out along the course, aren't they?
Yeah, over the course of 3 miles, everyone's obviously together in the beginning, the first couple hundred yards, but you've got some of the boys running 18 minutes and change, all the way to some of the girls be coming in at 26, 27 minutes, so a wide range of times.
I've also noticed that some of the runners are just so focused on trying to complete the course that they don't look far enough ahead to where they're trying to go, and they have to make course corrections partway up the field.
Yeah, we tell people, unless they're in the woods where there's roots, you really should never ever be looking down at the ground. You should have your eyes up at least 20 meters, 30 meters, sort of see where the course is, where the people you're competing against. But a common mistake made by beginning runners.
And now Lawrence coming into view.
And here's LJ too, and again, you can sort of see he's clearly better than a lot of these other runners he's passing.
Yeah.
They're younger than him.
Still passing.
Yeah, so good effort. Just again, little mistakes made out on the course with course markings, and so more of a workout for everybody here today. So times won't be official, but good workout on a good course.
And as always, the runners are out there trying to do their personal best.
Yeah, yep, absolutely.
More runners from north coming in. And here we got another Lawrence runner.
Yeah, here comes Kevin all the way in. Good form.
620.
And a pack of runners coming in together. See some Lawrence mixed in there.
Yeah, we got Joe and Jared coming in. Yeah, tough to sprint at the end of 3 miles, so it's a testament to both everyone here who's kicking it in at the end of running 3 miles.
Yes, it's interesting to see how well people have paced themselves. Some of them have way too much energy left, and others are barely making it to the finish line.
Yeah, so it shows you different fitness levels and different abilities. And again, just to sort of throw it in, some of these runners have run different parts of the course, so it may appear that it's like, why is he or she running with that person? One person might have run 2.5 today, someone might have run 2 3/4 with the mix-up on the course. So coaches will be keeping track of what each of their runners did.
Yeah, as you said, this was more just an exhibition run for these runners, and that's fortunate because I'd hate to try and straighten this mess out.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, yeah, some of the bigger invitationals are on weekends, and during the week, again, a lot of developmental meets for the younger and the newer runners.
Yes, I had spoken to one of the former runners from Heightstown who said that their team was actually competing in another meet elsewhere in the county the same day.
All right, Aiden Stern finishing up there.
Number 40 coming in.
Another North runner coming in.
The numbers are in here, but it's not printed off.
Now, if this were being scored, the scoring is based on the first, 5 runners?
First, yeah, your top 7 is considered
Top 7
varsity,
runners.
but the first 5 are the scores. So whichever, it doesn't matter who they are. The first 5 scores in for your team, you count them up, and you count against the other top 5 from another team.
So, for instance, if Steinert showed up with 120 runners, only their top 5 would gather points.
Yeah. So the great thing is, though, they could run the 120 runners, but only the top 5 would score that day, and lowest score wins. So obviously, the further up you are in the race, you have a lower number, and so we saw if this was scored, Steinert had a lot of low numbers in the race today. They would have been the winner.
So, for instance, if North had shown up with only 5 runners, if they were 5 fast runners, they could still win the meet.
Absolutely, yeah. 5 runners can beat 130 runners as long as your 5 are faster than their 5.
Yep. And here comes some more of the runners from Lawrence.
Brianna and Susanna, yep. And they've been showing great improvement this season. So there's still a month left in the season, and their training is starting to pick up right now. So I imagine their times will correspondingly get down.
I think the one runner is just holding up a little bit to finish with her friend there.
It looks like it, but Susanna's just a little bit smoother. But actually, Brianna sometimes has beaten Susanna, so it's tricky. Yeah.
I think she tried to sneak one in there right at the end. Someone who's feeling the distance, but still finishing with a decent pace. And another one of the North runners coming in. We're seeing more and more of the girls now.
Yeah, North has got a pretty good large team, as does Steinert.
It was nice being able to shoot this meet where it was a little warmer out from my standpoint. I know the runners like it when it's cooler, but some of the meets we've shot in previous years have been well into October, and it's been quite chilly standing there waiting for them to come out of the woods.
Yeah, the spectators and the runners like the opposite weather.
Yes.
Spectators are like nice and warm, but as all these boys and girls are competing, their temperature goes up, obviously. So if it's cooler weather, they prefer that. If it's hot, they get too hot.
I believe you'd said some of them even enjoy having a light rain to run in for that reason.
Yeah, once they get into it, they don't mind the rain. They don't mind the mud. That actually sort of makes it a little bit fun for them. But no matter what, cool weather is always better than warmer weather.
I imagine some runners are better than others in the wet conditions as well.
Yeah, the tougher ones. But we've had rain recently, and we've gone out for some runs, and that's, it's just water.
Well,
so,
no water today. That course
today.
is dry.
No. Yes. But a beautiful park, Mercer County Park.
Oh, very much so. While I was waiting for the meet to start, I actually saw someone out on the lake with what I thought was a sailboat. It turned out to be a conversion kit on a canoe.
Oh, really?
And a gentleman was sailing around having a good old time on the lake.
Yeah, there's a lot of crew going on the lake here. A lot of training goes out there.
Yes, the crew teams have a boathouse on the far side of the lake, and they have the lanes marked where they do practice runs and big meets.
And two more runners, a freshman and a senior. So the freshman here is Jen, who also plays softball, so she's an all-around athlete. And then she's doing well here, first season cross country. And then senior, Faith Arashan, who's a high jumper for us during the track season.
Yes, we see a lot of the athletes who are multi-sport athletes at this school. Steinert heading for the line. It's nice to hear all the support of the people at the line cheering them on as they come in for the finish.
Yeah,
I imagine after the lengthy run there, that helps.
Yeah, there's good camaraderie in the sport. You'll even see some teams cheering for other teams as well. You see someone giving a good effort.
Yes. Now, who do we have coming in this time?
That's another freshman, Io. It's her first year running for us.
Io needs to look for the finish line.
She's veering over a little bit, a little tired.
And she's found it. Okay.
This is actually her first race she's completing. So
Excellent.
she had some breathing issues on her first race ever. This is her second race, but the first race that she's ever completed. So congratulations.
And she's coming in strong, too. Nice job. One of the back markers from the North team. And as we've said before, everyone's out there trying to do their personal best.
Yeah, we don't. There's no cuts in cross country or track, so that allows people that may not be good right away to sort of develop. And even if they never end up becoming varsity, they can, as you mentioned earlier, they can compare their times.
There's a nice kick at the end, and lots of support there. And that's going to do it from Mercer County Park. All three teams doing a wonderful job. Good to see so many Lawrence runners out there. Coach, I want to thank you for coming by and helping out with the broadcast today. And good luck with the rest of the season.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it.
So, thank you for watching, and be sure to tune in again next time for more exciting Cardinal sports action on LTPS TV.